Hey y'all, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make 3 really delicious holiday recipes in an air fryer oven. Stay tuned, I'll show you how to make them. Hey y'all, we are back in the kitchen. That's why the sound and lighting is a little bit different. And this right here, this is part of my tripod. You know, you have to set up where you can set up, right? But anyway, I'm going to be showing you how to make 3 really awesome Thanksgiving dishes. Not just for Thanksgiving, but you can also make these for Christmas because Christmas is coming. And you're going to start with your Christmas cooking and baking soon. But anyway, we're going to be using my new Redmond air fryer oven. I'm going to have links in the description box below, and I'll also pin a comment to a lot of these Redmond products that I've been using. Redmond is awesome. They really are. I did all of this chopping here with my awesome Redmond chef knife, and how beautiful is that handle and that beautiful, beautiful blade there with that design. Anyway, like I said, Redmond air fryer oven we're going to be using here in a minute. But anyway, what is all this? Right here we have 12 ounces of chopped baby Bella mushrooms. Over here, 3 cloves of crushed garlic, 4 slices of thick cut bacon that I have diced up into itty bitty pieces. And here, this is 1/2 cup of chopped onion. So what we're doing is we're going to start cooking all of this. I've got my electric skillet over here, which makes it so much easier. Let me get that set up and we'll get into it. All right, so first off, what we're going to do is cook up our bacon, and I went ahead and put that in the electric skillet, and I did put just a little drizzle of olive oil. I know bacon doesn't need it. Bacon makes its own fat, but you know what? I put it in there anyway, just to get it started, you know? And you can kind of see how big I cut this bacon, but what we're going to do is we're essentially making our own bacon bits, okay? Not the stuff that you buy at the store already made. You're just going to cook this bacon over medium heat until it is nice and crispy. All right, so we are almost done here, and I'm going to call that good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our onions and our garlic, and we're going to cook this for right at 5 minutes, just until the onions are translucent. Okay, keep an eye on it, because we all know how onions and garlic can burn pretty quickly. So just keep stirring it. I wish y'all could smell this. Smell. It smells so good. I love garlic. Y'all know I love garlic. But anyway, now we're going to cook this just for a few minutes and come back and add in the mushrooms. All right, this is looking good and smelling so good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to throw in our mushrooms here, and we're going to cook it for another 4 to 5 minutes, okay? We're just cooking it down so that the mushrooms are soft and tender. And yeah, that usually takes about 5 minutes or so. Like I said, over medium heat. Just keep on stirring. Now it's really smelling good. And I love mushrooms, so I'll put in a lot. But, you know, if you don't want that many mushrooms, don't put that many in, you know? We're going to cook this up until the mushrooms are soft, and then we're going to transfer all of this into a bowl, and we're going to set it off to the side. So I'm not washing this out because I want all of these little pieces, I want all of that flavor in our roux, okay? So now what we have 4 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to let that butter melt. Now you see how I kind of like to move it around to pick up like all these little pieces over here? That's just me. That's what I like to do. I like to move the butter around so it picks up all the little BCBs, the burnt crunchy bits, as they are called. But anyway, starting to look good, starting to melt down. Then once that melts down, we're going to add in our flour. So this is just about ready. Yes, I did have a silicone whisk, and you know what? I can't find it. I don't know. The kids like to steal things and play Star Wars and stuff, so they might have it. But anyway, to our 4 tablespoons of butter, we're going to throw in 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, not self-rising, all-purpose flour. And we're just going to whisk that together until it's smooth. Whisk it all in there. Like I said, low heat. And you're just going to keep whisking, and this is going to deepen a little bit in color. All right, you see how it got just a little bit darker? All right. Now, you don't want to cook this too long, okay? You don't want it to burn. You don't want to start clumping up. So now what we're going to add is 1 cup of chicken broth. Whisk, whisk, whisk. I know the silicone spatula would have been better, but like I said, I don't know where it is. I'll probably find it as soon as I get done with this. And now we're going to pour in 1 cup of half and half. You're just going to whisk all that together, and then we're going to let this cook just for a few minutes to thicken up just a little bit. All right, now we're going to stir in half a cup of shredded white cheddar cheese. White cheddar, I mean, you could use regular cheddar if you like. I just like this better. And then we're going to stir that until the cheese is melted. Oh, this is so good. I wish you could smell it. I really do. Just stir it till it's melted. And now the mixture that we made earlier with our mushrooms, onions, and garlic, now we're going to dump that in. So let me get the spoon out of it here. And let's just dump all that right in there. It smells so good. So good. All right. Now we're just going to, and we'll turn the heat down just a tiny bit. We're going to stir all this together. Just stir it till it gets all heated up. And then I'm going to take it off the heat. All right, let me tell y'all what I'm doing with green beans here. So I have fresh green beans over here. I have 1 pound of fresh green beans. And what I'm doing is just trimming off the ends, and then we're going to blanch them. So what that means is I'm going to boil a big pot of water. I'm going to drop these down in that water, boil it for 5 minutes, and then you're going to dump out that water and throw those green beans in a pot of ice water just for a couple minutes. And then we're going to put them in here. Alrighty, aren't these beans beautiful? Beautiful! So now we're just going to dump those in there and start stirring. Now this is when you can add some salt and pepper if you like. I like pink Himalayan salt, and I do like to grind my own pepper. I don't like the stuff that comes pre-ground in a can. I don't know, I don't like it. But anyway, we're going to stir in our green beans here. And then I also have 6 ounces of French fried onions. We're going to put half of that in here and stir that up as well. Dump in our salt and pepper. All right. Stir and stir and stir. And then once we have this all stirred together, we're going to put it in our casserole dish over here. And then we're going to put it in our Redmond air fryer oven, 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. Now, you know, when you cook stuff in an air fryer or an air fryer oven, you know it cooks a lot faster than standard stovetop or standard oven. So basically this is already cooked. I mean, it's already hot and it's cooked. We're just basically just heating it up even further so that all your flavors can meld together. All right, so I'm going to keep on stirring this, put it in our dish, and then I'm going to top it with the remainder of these fried onions over here, and we'll be good to go. All right, so as you can see, we have our food in there, and yes, I'm in my little studio space. I have soundproofing materials and all kinds of crafts and stuff behind me. But anyway, you're going to want to select menu, and then we're going to go right over here to bake. Just keep turning this till it says bake. We're going to come over here to time. We're going to press that. And then you're going to turn the knob until you get it to the time that you want. As you can see, it's already set to 350 degrees. But if you wanted to change the temperature, you just hit temperature and then turn the knob. I'm going to set that for 10 minutes. Let's back up here. I'm sorry. And then you're going to just press the big button. Just press it in. And it's cooking. It also has a light. You can turn the light on and off like so. So we can get down here so that y'all can see that. See? There we go. So anyway, I'm going to let this cook for 10 minutes and then we'll take it out. All right, y'all, and there you have it. Our green bean casserole. So good. I wish y'all could smell it. I really do. It just smells so good. All right, so hang tight and we're going to make us some sweet potato casserole. The angle is bad here, but like I said, you do what you got to do. But anyway, now what we're going to be making is a sweet potato casserole. Now, what do I have here? Chopped up sweet potato, and you're going to want to use 5, about this size. This is a good size sweet potato, 5 large ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook these first before we start mashing them up, of course. And the way that I do it is I peel them, and then I just chop them into chunks like so. And then I put them in some boiling water and boil them until they're soft. I just find that to be a lot easier than baking them in the oven or microwaving them and then just trying to scrape all of them out of their jackets here, the skin. I just found this to be an easier way. So anyway, I'm going to throw these in a big old pot of boiling water, cook them till they're soft, drain them, and then we'll go to the next step. So our sweet potatoes here, you can see they're done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just mashing them up. Why am I keeping them over here so it won't steam up my, my camera lens here? I'm just going to mash these up. Now you can use a potato masher if you want to. Why am I not? Because I don't want to. Anyway, I'm just kind of squishing them up. We need to let these cool down. Now you can put these in a blender, you can put them in a food processor, you can use a potato masher depending on the consistency that you're going for. I still like to have chunks in mine. I don't want it to be smooth like baby food or something. So that's why I'm doing it like this. It's therapeutic to me to sit here and just, you know what I'm saying? You can use your potato mash, you use whatever you want. You just squish them up. And then we're going to let this cool, and then we're going to mix in some more ingredients. All right, so it's still pretty warm. But you know what, it should cool down just enough for us to start mixing all this together. And it's kind of cool in here too, so that's going to make it like it's steaming even more. So into this, we are going to throw in 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of butter, 2 eggs, and I'm going to put the eggs in slowly. I'm just going to take a little bit of this here. Let's scoot this up. I'm just going to take a little bit of this here and just kind of put it in the eggs like so. Kind of like temper the eggs to the temperature of the mixture in the bowl so that they won't start cooking once we put them in there. And then we're going to set that off to the side. All right, so we got that. Now we have 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Throw that in. A teaspoon of cinnamon. 1/2 cup of white granulated sugar. 2 teaspoons of heavy cream. And then just start mixing all that up. I think our eggs should be ready. Let's stir this just a second or so. You know, just to kind of get that milk and everything mixed in there. And that's going to help to bring the temperature of the potatoes down. All right. So it should be okay to put the eggs in now. And now we're just going to stir all this up until it's well mixed together. And we're going to put that in our casserole dish. Now, if you're using like a regular baking pan, 9x13 size that you would use, I'm using a casserole dish. So we're going to mix all this together and then put it in our dish, and then we're going to make the topping. Alrighty, now we are going to make our topping. So what we have here, we have 1/2 cup of butter, and then we're going to take 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, put that in, 1.5 cups of light brown sugar, and then 1 cup of chopped pecans. You're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of dry ingredients. You want this to be crumbly, okay? Crumbly. It's not going to be very wet. It's going to be crumbly. You like how we make like an apple crisp, you know how crumbly that topping is? This is what you're going for. So you can use a pastry cutter, you can use your hands, you can use a spoon like I'm doing here, and you're just going to kind of just chop all this up until it crumbles and it sort of comes together a little bit, and then we're going to sprinkle that. I just shot pecans over there. And then we're going to take this and we're going to sprinkle it on top of our casserole here and then put it in our little air fryer oven. All right, so we have all of this mixed up, and now we're just going to sprinkle it on top and spread it out. So I've already showed you how you use the Redmond air fryer oven, but it comes with an instruction manual, okay? So you don't have to worry about, you know, coming back to my video to learn how to use it. It comes with an instruction manual. But anyway, we're going to put this in our oven at 350 degrees, and we're going to go about 15 minutes. You're basically just wanting this to be bubbly and hot, and you want this topping to be melted, and it's going to be a really pretty brown color when it's done. So yeah. All right, there we go. Oh my goodness, this smells so good, and it looks so good. Can't wait to eat some of this. So now let me get this out of the way, and we are going to move on to our next dish, which is going to be a lot faster than these two. Hold on. All right, my hands are messy. Yes, they are. But someone was in my inbox the other day on Facebook asking me if you could cook one of these Butterball frozen turkey breasts in an air fryer oven. Yeah, you can. You can cook pretty much anything in an air fryer oven. With that Redmond oven in there, it's large enough to cook pretty much anything you need it to cook. But anyway, I've never used one of these before. I cook the whole turkey, you know, and I make the truffle butter and all that stuff. But anyway, this came with a little packet of gravy concentrate. I'm not going to use that. We're just going to put that over there. I like to make my own gravy. But I was reading, you know, it's frozen to oven. You don't have to thaw it or anything. And it says to leave this netting on because it makes it easier to pick up after it is done roasting. I don't like this, so I'm going to take it off. Because y'all know me. I'm not going to follow instructions sometimes anyway. So I'm just going to take it off. I don't like this. I don't like it. Messy. All right. Ugh. So let's flip this back over, and I'm going to wash my hands so that we can season it. I'm trying to cut down on the time of this video because I know it's already long enough, but I just took some olive oil here and coated it. It already has a little bit of seasoning on it, but not enough for my liking. So I coated it with some olive oil, and I sprinkled on some of my Chicka Bam Bam bird rub from the Fire and Smoke Society. So good. You can get this online, or you can get it at Walmart. Not sure if any grocery stores carry it, but I do know that Walmart carries it. I'm going to wrap this in some foil now, and I'm going to go put it in our Redmond air fryer oven, 350 degrees for anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. If you're not exactly sure if it's done without cutting into it, take your meat thermometer. It needs to be at least 165 degrees from the center. Just practice your good meat cooking. Hold on. Make a little tent here. Practice your good meat cooking habits. Don't want anyone getting sick. We're just going to make a tent with some foil here. And then we're going to go throw it in our little oven and see how it comes out. All right, it is done. You know what? And I know that this looks terrible, but I have sliced it and I put it on this plate. My kids have been wanting some. My kids are hungry. They're smelling all this food. But anyway, an hour and a half is what I wound up having this in there as, an hour and a half, okay? Because this was completely frozen. Now, had this been thawed, I think an hour would have been fine. But yeah, an hour passed and it still wasn't quite done in the middle, so I did an hour and a half, and that seemed to be just fine. But yeah, nice and juicy, and it smells really, really good. Like I said, I know it doesn't look good because I just sliced it up. But yeah. Can't wait to eat this. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you would, give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe. Check me out on other forms of social media, links to all of which will be in the description box down below. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye!